Hey guys, Jan David Sutar, AFC Northerners. Man, what a heartbreaking loss. Whew, lot to discuss in this game. Ravens are officially out of the playoffs, so that's the end of the season. It's going to be interesting to see what happens next with the rest of the Ravens, but first let's talk about this game. So I want to address a couple of things. We were making the right decision in sticking with Lamar Jackson all the way through. And the reason I say that, I know everybody was calling for Flacco. Even I was a little suspect whenever I was seeing all these things. And then during the halftime, I went back and took a look, and I realized that a lot of our issues come from O-line play. Hurst had a horrible game. Wembley gave up like some stuff. So really, truly, our offensive line was not doing us any favors. Couldn't get the ball run. We had almost no run game, chipping away at that. At one point in time, we were negative 2 yards, so there wasn't enough time in the pocket to even get anything going. Overall, I think really there's some big failures here on this game. One was the offensive line. Two was the play calling being really, again, conservative. Marty Mornhinweg is just not the person I think that we need. And then you have Lamar Jackson. I'm not saying that he, in any way, shape, or form, is solely responsible or has no real responsibility, because neither one of those is true. The fumbles, the bad ball protection, just in general, some really, really inaccurate throwing just shows that this is a kid that still has a long way to grow. So our defense played really, truly an amazing game of football. I mean, only allowing one touchdown and a bunch of field goals. I mean, that's really an impressive feat, especially against a veteran like Phillip Rivers. Now, Bolts fans, I know you must be really excited. You're going to play in over in Foxborough next week. Good game to you guys, by the way. Really, really, Bolts fans, like really good game. You guys fought hard, you stayed in, you had answers, and we didn't make enough adjustments until the fourth quarter. If we had made those adjustments, if Justin Tucker had even maybe possibly gotten that field goal in, it may have been a different story as far as where the game went, but those are woulda, coulda, shouldas. So again, Chargers fans, really good game. You guys really showed up and just took control from the moment you started. So good game for you. So I want to break down some of the things that I was just discussing. One was offensive line play. I kind of touched on that a little bit. Hurst really, truly was horrible. This has been one of his worst games. He had been kind of on an uptick and played pretty well, but this game was a game where he just did not show up for the game. A lot of our offensive line had problems. Even Ronnie Stanley had like really, really dumb penalties called against him. So I want to say overall, like, our offensive line did not help our QB or our running backs much at all in this game. So point two was about coaching, and I really think that Marty Mornhinweg got out-coached by the defense on this one. If you're really going back and looking through all these plays, we are playing the same way over and over and over in these games and not really getting much out of Marty Mornhinweg. I don't think there's much value for him there. If he stays for next season, I'm going to have a real issue with that. And Ravens fans, we've been saying this for like years. Just because you have Lamar Jackson running because there's no other choice, usually that to me says, what is my offensive coordinator doing? So point three on that was Lamar Jackson. Really inaccurate throws, really poor ball protection. In general, just some not smart decisions. Now, some of that I can absolutely chalk up to a 21-year-old kid who has never played in a playoff game ever, just getting a lot of nerves in the first couple of quarters. Makes sense to me, all right? I can totally say that. You had a lot of people that had like a lot of the same problems whenever they were rookie quarterbacks. Winston had a little bit of that. And I mean, you see where they're at now, and everybody was calling him an accurate thrower. But this game, seriously, there were some really, truly inaccurate throws. And then at the end, there were some amazing throws. Crabtree getting touchdowns twice, and that last touchdown was insane. What beautiful positioning. But it was really interesting how we hardly even targeted our tight ends till the end of the game. We didn't really use any of our running backs except for maybe a little bit of a sideline play or whatever have you. But in general, I was really underwhelmed with the offensive play calling in this game. I don't think we did ourselves any favors, and I really think that Harbaugh should genuinely be on the hot seat if he brings back Marty Mornhinweg. I'm all right with him staying into 2019, but I think that if this isn't a wake-up call to change our offensive schemes, I don't know what is, and maybe we need a change right at the very top. It'll be interesting to see what happens with the general managing changes that are coming in for the next season too. So overall, really heartbreaking loss. A really great rally at the end for the Ravens. They really, really tried to get in there. again, you know, whenever Ingram wound up picking up the ball again right after, I forget the Chargers player who stripped it out of Lamar Jackson's hands. But you got to be better at protecting that ball. He was coming back, was about to throw, got stripped out right there. You just can't allow that to happen. You've got to be more aware of who's coming for you whenever you're throwing that ball. There's some things really that need to be worked on, but to go 7-2 into the playoffs, it's not a bad start for a rookie, but there are definite things to be able to clean up. I mean, we obviously saw a lot of them. I think that he needs to learn how to calm his nerves, because if you're watching this game and I'm watching Lamar, he's kind of like all over the place. He's a little like nervous. His energy is a little frantic whenever you're watching him, and I think that causes him to make poor throws and poor decisions as well. You know, completely counter to what we see in January Joe and typical. Joe Flacco has always been real cool, calm under pressure. He's always been the guy that like just takes it and keeps on going and never literally lets it phase you. And we're starting to see what that really means as far as quarterback play and just the style of it in general. Either way, whether it's Joe Flacco or Lamar Jackson, who's at the helm for the beginning of next season, and I expect it to be Jackson, I think that I really can't stop talking about how much we need to get rid of Marty Mornhinweg, because neither one of those two are doing really, really well under that system unless you have a quarterback that runs on every play, because nobody ever gets open. I just want to say also, guys, thank you so much for sticking with us through the season. I know that it's been a really weird season for AFC North. Really, really amazing to see what's going to happen for us next year. You know, between the draft, also with the rise of the Browns, the fall of the Steelers, and the meh of the Bengals. It's going to be interesting to see where it is that we go from next year, especially with so many changes at head coach and coaching in general between at least two teams, being the Bengals and the Browns. So the AFC North is going to be, I think, a radically different place next season. We're going to see exactly what that looks like. But really, guys, thank you so much for commenting, for liking, for subscribing. This has been one of our most popular seasons yet, especially from you guys. And I just want to say, from the bottom of my heart, no matter what your team is, thank you so much for commenting, for hanging out with us, for watching our videos, talking back to us too. We really, really love it. I just want to go out on this one thought, and that was our defense was phenomenal today. Truly, truly a phenomenal display of our defensive capabilities. And I really hope that Wink Martindale stays with the Baltimore Ravens. And I hope that you want that too, because I think that he has shown what he can do on defense, and I think he's earned a spot as a Raven in that coaching staff. Anyway, guys, I'm going to go back, look at a lot of film. I want to dissect this a little bit more. We're trying to get together and do a group show next week, if possible. I'm hoping that can happen. So anyway, guys, thank you again. Ravens here, JD Sutar. Really, really fantastic job from the end of the season. And now we get to sit back and watch some football and see who it is that takes the crown. But in general, guys, thank you again. It's a heartbreaking loss, but we had a really decent season, and to get into the playoffs with a rookie QB, that's not bad. It's not bad. Chargers fans, really good game. You guys showed up. I'll see you guys shortly. And from the AFC Northerners, I'm going to say, like we always do, fuck the Patriots. Go get them, Chargers. I want to see them lose in Foxborough.